And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. How are we doing? Can you see me? Can you hear me? How are we doing? Okay, looks like we got some people in here already. Looks like y'all are already bumping. All right. So, the Seahawks played a game earlier today, unfortunately. And given the fact that we only lost by 10 points, I don't think things could have gone any worse in that game, to be perfectly honest. The offense was pitiful and pathetic. They had one really good drive the whole game. The defense was toothless and put the team behind the eight ball immediately. Did nothing really good in the first half. And that's the result you get. There's nothing positive to take away from this one for me. I don't think you can find 1% of anything good about this game. Very little to hang your hat on for me. I guess Michael Dixon had a pretty good game. That's the closest thing I can think of. So, as far as I'm concerned, that is it for this season. As far as I'm concerned, that should be it for this era. The Pete Carroll era deserves to die on that field tonight after the way we played. So, I'm going to go ahead and open up things up to questions in a moment here, but just know that I don't see anything positive in this game. Oh yeah, Brian Monet played well. That's a good point, David. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of positive stuff from this game. And as far as I'm concerned, it's time to move on from all this crap. Uh, the coaches need to be cleaned out. The front office needs to be cleaned out. Most of this roster needs to be cleaned out. I think that the players you can keep are how many times am I gonna have to explain the Russell Wilson thing? Like, I'm gonna have to make a video like tomorrow or something just for the Wilson thing, so you people understand it. I'm tired of saying this in every other stream I do. Shalvin, it's not two bad games. It's about the way in which he's playing football. It's the way Russell Wilson is playing football is wrong. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of acknowledgement from him of that. I'm seeing a guy who still thinks that he can play the way that he's trying to play and have that work well for him. And bigger than that, he is the only asset of value on this team that needs value. So if you get rid of all the coaches and you get rid of all the front office, you are going to bring in new people. They may not like Wilson. They may not want to work with him. They might say, we want our own guy. Like, we respect Wilson, but we want to do our own thing. This is our team now. They might have a fantasy of building a team that isn't around a shorter quarterback. They might want a more traditional pocket quarterback. What's the motivation for DK to resign here? Oh, that's easy. Money. Money. We can offer him big money a year earlier than everyone else. That's all that really needs to be said there. Troops, most of them I don't think if you hired like Kellen Moore, I don't think he would want Wilson. I think he would want his own guy. And by the way, even with all the stuff I just said out of the way, you still have to build a team at record speed in time for Wilson. You have to do it immediately. You Yeah, I agree, Big. I kind of agree, Big Daddy K. I don't completely agree with that, but think I do think that a lot of people in the Seahawks fan base are not really Seahawks fans. They're Russell Wilson fans. To them, Russell Wilson is more important than the team. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but I am not a Russell Wilson fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. I want what's best for this team. And it's becoming very clear to me right now that moving on from Russell Wilson after this season would be the best thing for this team. Like, I've seen this stuff before. I remember the Cowboys fans back when they had Tony Romo. A lot of Cowboys fans were not really Cowboys fans. They were Tony Romo fans. They refused to understand that they needed to move on from him way before they did. So, because of that, they ended up wasting a lot of time on a team that ultimately didn't win anything of significance. I don't want to see this team do the same thing because you can't bottom out with Russell Wilson, or it's really hard to bottom out with Russell Wilson. Maybe this team does need to go through a couple of 3-win and 4-win seasons in order to reload, get new talent, reboot this coaching staff and front office. Well, Shalvin, you got to move something. What are you going to do? Just run it all back from last year? I mean, are you really going to have a season this bad and this disappointing and say, no, we don't need to change nothing? Everything's good. Like, you got to change something, at least. Maybe you change everything, but you got to change something. Yeah, Shade. I think Eskridge might just not know the playbook at all because he spent all that time being hurt and couldn't practice. I don't know, but it's getting on my damn nerves. Jacob, there's absolutely no reason to believe any of that, and that last statement is factually not true. The Patriots moved on from Tom Brady. They had one bad season, and now they're good again. Thank you, Enrique. Okay, so up to 85 people. So we're bumping now. So I'm going to stream until the end of the Sunday night football game, Steelers Chargers. I'm going to stream until the end. I will reply to as many comments as I can, although I will not reply to all comments because they're going to come in very fast. If you have a comment you really want me to read and address, your only chance to guarantee that is to send it in as a super chat. Sorry, that's the way it has to be because we have so many people in here. If you are a channel member, I'm more likely to see your comment and reply to it. Any donations you send in, by the way, show up in the tip jar to my left. Hey, Rip. And we also have some subscriber goals and member goals, so if you're new, definitely consider that. Jalen, it's not about Wilson having a good season or a bad season. It's can he adjust the way he plays to continue to be good in the future? Why should we keep him in the future because he was good in the past? That doesn't make any sense, guys. Because he was good 2 years ago, you want to keep him in the future? That doesn't make sense. The only thing that matters is will he be good in the future? Yeah, Kyle, I completely agree with that. And even if Wilson is good and is capable of adjusting, how are we going to rebuild this whole roster in one offseason? Do you have any idea how perfectly we'd have to manage this offseason? We need to get 3 new offensive linemen. Jeff Lowe, thank you for the member 2-month message. We heard fans boo the offense in the stadium. Yeah, we did. Shout out to the fans who went to the game, by the way. I don't think Seahawks fans should be going to the games right now, to be perfectly honest. I think that the best thing you can do as a fan to show the team that you're not happy is to not spend money on them. I think you kind of have to be a sucker to give the team money right now. But shout out to the fans who did go there to actually let their displeasure be known. I got to give them props to that. I'll give them credit for at least going there for a purpose. What would be your opinion if we won our next 3 games? Nothing would change. Why would I care? That's what the Falcons did in 2019. They won a bunch of meaningless games after their season was over, and because of that, they decided, well, let's give Dan Quinn one more year, and then they did, and Dan Quinn started like what, 0-6. Who would you choose if Russell Wilson leaves? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Find it like you can get a quarterback who is not as good as Wilson, but who's playing the game smarter. Like Mac Jones is not as good as Russell Wilson, but he is playing the game smarter. Okay, Mac Jones doesn't have anywhere near the talent of a Russell Wilson, and at his best, he's nowhere near as good as Wilson can be. But it doesn't matter because he's playing smarter, and therefore his teams are scoring more points and winning more games. That's what it's about. Bears need to trade for Wilson. Would love to have Fields in a Seahawks uniform. I don't know about Fields, man. I'm confused. Isaac, did you hear anything that I just said? I just said that Mac Jones is not better than Russell Wilson, but he is playing the game smarter. You can get a quarterback, pay him very little money. You can get like a quarterback in the draft and pay him very little money for 3 years and have him be not as good as Wilson, but he'll play the game smarter. Okay, Isaac, but what proof do you have of that? He's still making bad decisions. He's still throwing the ball into double coverage on Hail Marys when he doesn't need to. And yeah, Wilson has been good for the last several years, but you know what? This team hasn't been anything more than just good for the last several years. We haven't played in a conference championship game in years. I cannot prove this. I can't prove this because it would take way too long to look up. But I wonder how many teams in NFL history have stuck with the same GM, coach, and quarterback for 8 straight seasons without ever making a conference title game. Yeah, Michael, a guy like that can be the QB for a year, and it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. And we'll be bad for a year, but it's fine. And then we can try to find the next franchise QB next next year. Do you think the Patriot House? Do you think the Patriots are really like depressed they gave up on Tom Brady when they did? No, because they're building something for the future that is going to potentially be good for years. They have built something in New England now, something new around a young, cheap quarterback that could be good for a long time. Yeah, they gave up on Brady maybe a year or two too early. He's still good. But so what? Who cares? By the way, we got like 115 people in here. Please like the stream if you haven't already. They should, Jake, but sometimes it feels like this coaching staff is just asleep at the wheel. Like, Wilson shouldn't have been out there. Wilson should not have played today based on how his finger was for most of that game. Robert Henry, thank you for the $4.99. Still white pill, but get rid of GM and coaches. Sucks Pete couldn't get him ready for game, but believe Wilson and Wagner restructure. Now, restructuring only gets you so far. Wagner cannot restructure. He needs to take a massive pay cut for me to even consider it. I don't, but thank you for the support, Robert. Um, I mean, it would, even if Wilson is still good, even if Wilson is still capable of being the guy, you're going to need such a good offseason to get ready in time for 2022 that it you're going to be asking a front office that hasn't signed any big free agents in 8 years, who will have just imported brand new coaches and staff, to go out and spend hundreds of millions of dollars. What players do you think we need to keep next year? Mostly just the young guys. If we do trade Russ, I mean, Philly's the dream. But would he go to Philly? That we don't know. Remember, he can dictate where he goes. He has a lot of say in that front. Okay, Spencer, we could still have a good offensive line with Wilson making all that money. I don't think that's a fair statement at all. This front office does not do a very good job of using the money that they have. They have had money recently and they don't use it right. And as for the offensive line, yeah, there are definitely times where it's quite bad, but Wilson makes their job a lot harder than it needs to be, period. Pete and JS stay and Russ gets traded. That's possible, but Pete looks like he's miserable right now. I'll say that. Pete looks miserable right now. I don't know if you guys saw, but he stormed out of his press conference after the game, and then he came back and apologized because he was like, I got pissed off. I shouldn't take it out on you guys. I don't have any answers right now. I don't know what I'm doing. He sounds like he's having a real bad time of things. Sounds like he's having a miserable day. And, I don't blame him. But he said, like, the problems today are the same problems we've had all season. If that's the case, then what does that say about you as a coach? That means you're a crappy coach, right? Because the problems that are keeping you from winning have been there for 2+ months now, and you can't figure out how to fix it. Like how does that not you just saying that you're a shitty coach? Shalvin, the offensive line will not matter nearly as much if we get a quarterback who's able to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Like, I have seen seasons, and this is obviously an extreme example, but there have been seasons when Brady was in New England where they had a terrible offensive line, and all they did was run the spread, and they made the offensive line not matter. Well, if Pete steps down, doesn't he forego his contract, which is worth like $50 million? Why is Philly the ideal destination? Because they have 3 top 10 picks in this upcoming draft. Maybe Pete goes back to USC, Russ gets traded, and Schneider's the only one who stays. Possibly. I don't know what to think of Schneider. Like, I don't know how much of this is on him. I don't know how many of these selections are his fault. Like, it's possible Pete's the guy calling the shots there. I mean, and as for the coaching thing, okay, here's my thing. Here's the thing, guys. We got a coach fired. Russell Wilson got a coach fired last year because the offense shit the bed at the end of the season, right? We got a coach fired. And then we bring in a new coach who is completely different from the old coach. And things don't get better, and now you want to chase that coach out. That don't make no sense. Like, isn't it time to look at the things that are still there? Like, the offense sucked down the stretch to the point where you fired your coach. Now you're going to say, well, we didn't fix it. We brought in all these this new coach, and now we're going to blame it on him, even though he wasn't here last year when we got the coach fired. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? Numb Seahawks fan, thank you for the $2. Something has to give for sure. Something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't just run it back. Philly would choose Russ over Hurts? I don't know. Hurts has shown some positive things and some negative things. I don't know how they feel about him right now. No, Shalvin, there's no reason to believe that. I think it's far more likely that Wilson is the one who cannot throw the short passes consistently. Partially because he has a messed up finger and that's not his fault, but he doesn't seem to have that understanding of the fact that getting the 5-yard pickup and keeping the drive alive is fine. Everything has to be all or nothing sometimes. Do you think, like, guys, the people who don't like Shane Waldron right now, do you think that Shane Waldron is coaching him during the week, coaching Wilson during the week, telling him, like, okay, when you drop back to pass and you see Gerald Everett wide open over the middle for an 8-yard gain, and then you see Tyler Lockett being double covered 50 yards down the field, I want you to throw a Hail Mary to Lockett. Now, don't take the easy free 8 yards. No, throw a Hail Mary to a tiny wide receiver. Do you guys think that that's what Waldron's doing? Is that what you guys are trying to say here? What's Waldron supposed to do? Is he supposed to run onto the field in the middle of a play, shove his hand up Wilson's butt and like hand puppet him so he throws it to Everett? Like, at a certain point, the players need to play the right way. I mean, hell, Pete even kind of got up Wilson's ass in the Titans game, remember? When Wilson went for a deep shot in the first offensive play of overtime against the Titans instead of checking it down. Like, do you remember Pete Carroll criticized him? He was like, I wish he would have checked it down there. And then Wilson was like, no, he basically said, whatever, I do what I want. Like, I don't know about Waldron, but I'm telling you guys, like, you guys got to remember some stuff. You guys got to remember some stuff about Waldron. This is not even his playbook. We're still using most of the playbook from Schottenheimer because you can't implement the whole playbook in one offseason. So a lot of these things that they're working with are not even his. Very few of these players are his. The only players he has that are his are Eskridge, Everett, and Gabe Jackson. And Eskridge has barely played. What if somehow Seahawks keep Pete in the coaching tap but then trade Russ? I guess that's possible. Possibly. I don't think that's going to result in what we want. That's for sure. Well, of course, Ian Mills. I'll make off-season content when the off-season's here. I don't like trading Metcalf, guys. I don't like trading Metcalf. I think that's a bad idea. I think that's a bad idea. I'm going to have to make a video tomorrow breaking down exactly why I think Wilson should go, just so you guys can stop asking me all the time. I feel like we go over this in every stream, and most people who ask me come from a place of they don't understand, because I need to just do a video where I lay this out. I mean, Russ is definitely a top 20 quarterback, but I just don't understand why he doesn't get it yet. He doesn't get it. Okay, SB, that's true, but the Packers had a lot of things in place on that roster. We don't. We need probably 3 new offensive linemen next year. We need to remake the defensive line. There are probably maybe 3 players on the defensive line we can retain, and then everyone else needs to get replaced. We might need a new linebacker because I think Bobby's gone. We might need a new free safety if Diggs goes. DJ Reed's probably going to go somewhere else, so we're going to need to replace that. There's a lot to replace, okay? Not that easy. Kev, it doesn't matter who the new quarterback is. Yeah, I guess it's possible, Silver Ace. But I think a lot of coaches would still look at Pete and say, I think I can find a way to make this work if they're in the right situation as a franchise. We might not be because we got to blow things up and we got to rebuild. We got to get new assets. Yeah, I'll make that video, Emmett, for sure. Like, the only question that matters with the Wilson thing is Wilson capable of winning a Super Bowl with the Seahawks in the next couple seasons? And if the answer is no, then he needs to go. It doesn't matter who you replace him with at all. Odds, even if Wilson is still capable of being good, with this team and the way they're going to be next year, it probably just means you go 8-9. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't want to go 8-9. I want to go either 12-4 or 13-4 or 4-13. I'm trying to get out of the middle, okay? I don't want to be stuck in the middle. If Wilson can't get us here, then I don't want to be here. I want to be down here. Yeah, I heard the boos. Yeah, I know that. Of course I knew that, Ian. Now, look, when we decided to not trade Wilson last offseason, I thought it was a good decision because it was too much money, but now it's less money. So you have to revisit it. Now it's a little easier to trade him, so I'm revisiting it. I didn't mind the 3rd and 20 run the ball, honestly. Wilson was going to do was throw an interception or get sacked. Like, I was okay with that. I actually wasn't even mad about it. Like, we have a quarterback who is from moment to moment, will throw a pass right on the money or 10 yards over a receiver's head. So I understand running the ball on 3rd and 20. I do. Like, whatever. If the Saints are able to make the money work, they would make some sense for Wilson. They don't have great assets, but maybe they can make it work. How much in dead money next year on Russell's contract? Like 26. It's possible to get Watson, but he's got to get cleared of charges for Jody Allen to even consider it. I mean, you guys got to understand that if we trade Wilson next year's going to suck, probably, almost certainly. Next year's going to suck, but sometimes you got to take that on the chin. If you trade Wilson and you suck for a year, at least you're sucking for a purpose. The team this year is sucking for no purpose because they were going all out to win the Super Bowl this year. This sucking is not helping. Jody Allen's usually at the games, Aaron. Jay Mitt, last year he gave the team a list of teams that he would be okay being traded to, which means he's at least open to it. So why, after a really bad season, would he not reconsider being traded? I know, David, and Wagner blew that play too. Aaron, I'm a little worried. I would like to do that, Kyle. Yeah. Trey Brown has a patellar tendon injury. He'll be back next year. J Met, I'll worry about that problem when we get there. Well, K's in pack. Next year's a punt anyway. Just go get Teddy Bridgewater. Go get Daniel Jones and take a flyer on somebody like that. I'm pretty sure Trey Brown's out for the season. He'll be back next year. Almost certainly, though. Yeah, the referees were terrible today, but whatever. Kyle, we have a lot. I think it's like 54 million or something. I mean, yeah, guys, today's game should be a learning example for you. The Cardinals got more production and had better play from Colt McCoy than we got from Wilson. Colt McCoy is not better than Russell Wilson, but he was able to play a much smarter, cleaner game and in a productive system was able to play well enough to win. Not just get the job done, but he actually went out there and won the game. Yeah, Carson's done. Carson should retire before he gets paralyzed. Well, I don't know if we cut Hyder. Hyder's good, and he's cheap. I would keep Hyder, honestly. Thomas, it doesn't really matter. Sign some rando. Sign somebody out of the audience at this point. Who gives a crap? Who would you like to go, Russell or Carroll? I think both got to go. I honestly think both got to go. Yeah, well, yeah, Fitzpatrick, it's not even a joke. Get somebody like that for a year. It doesn't matter. Next year's going to suck. Just take it on the chin, get a good draft pick, and plan for 2023 and beyond. We're probably going to be bad with Wilson next year anyway, so let's at least be bad for a purpose. This year has no purpose to be bad. We have no first round pick. We went all in trying to win, or most of the way in, which is a different conversation. Like us being bad this year is not useful. It's not helping. Thomas, I don't know about Eskridge. I think Eskridge has talent. I think he can be good, but I'm he did get very unlucky this year. Period. Now I don't know if it was the right pick or not, but I think he can be good in the NFL. It's just he got incredibly unlucky. Yeah, Lockett cannot be moved. Lockett's stuck here, and Jamal is stuck here. Okay, K's in pack. Waldron's not a good fit for Wilson. Why is that? You need to unpack that more. Is it because Waldron is doing something very specific that doesn't work with Wilson? Or is Wilson incapable of building an offense around short stuff? Because if it's the latter, then that's a Wilson problem. If Wilson cannot adjust his game to be able to take short stuff and make long drives happen slowly down the field, then he is not a good quarterback and he needs to go. It has become very clear that he is not going to be able to have consistent success in the NFL just going for deep shots all the time. So he needs to get off that. Yeah, Michael. I mean, there are some people who were on it before me too, but whatever. I don't understand why people are upset about the Jamal Adams pass interference call. Like he had his hand on his hip. He kind of looked like he was he looked like he was falling all over him. If it's not pass interference, then Jamal Adams made it look like pass interference. So it's his fault anyway. I don't understand that. There were other bad calls in that game. DK got interfered with at least twice, but I don't understand people upset about that one. That one doesn't make any sense to me. Well, looking back on it now, yeah, Kyle. Do you see DK becoming a diva wide receiver if the losses keep adding up? Uh, no, not really. He just needs to mature a little bit. I don't play Madden, Jerome. Madden sucks. Green 80, I'm not sure yet. It might just be Persona. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing DBD tonight. It's tomorrow. Look, the only thing with Metcalf is he's got to learn how to channel his emotions better, okay? All he wants to do is win. It's the exact same thing T.O. did, but T.O. never learned how to channel his emotions properly. Metcalf's got to learn. Well, Aaron, I stopped playing Madden because Madden sucks. I play real games. I don't play noob games. Man, Herbert looks so much better than Wilson watching this game compared to watching Wilson a few hours ago. And I know that Wilson is probably more talented than Herbert, but Herbert's just playing the game so much smarter. Well, yeah, that's obviously true. How does Madden not suck? Have you seen Madden 22? All the game breaking glitches they released the game with? Tumbo, Wilson started sucking halfway through last season. Waldron was on the Rams when that happened. You, I don't think Tyler Lockett's overpaid. It was just a mistake to give that much money to a player when we're in the situation that we're in. Yeah, I don't play Madden anymore. The only reason why I bought Madden 21 was because my fans bought the game for me, and I gave up on that game so quick because it was pissing me off. Yeah, J-Met. I mean, time of possession is the biggest problem with this team, but there are a lot of reasons why we can't manage time of possession. I think the biggest thing is the offense is all or nothing. Either we have a monster play or we don't go anywhere. Like, think about that Titans game where, yeah, the offense put up 30 points, but two of their touchdowns were on two big plays. That puts your defense right back out there on the field, and that's what got them at the end. Sometimes you don't need to take the big play. Sometimes you just need to take, 8-yard gains at a time. I don't know, Michael. Maybe he's not right. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Of course not, Jalen. Are you insane? Why would you even ask that? Herbert looks better than Wilson straight up. And then Herbert's 10 years younger. You need to get a quarterback who, as of right now, is an unknown quantity, like Daniel Jones or Jalen Hurts. You're not going to get somebody who already looks like a franchise QB. If we trade Wilson, do we draft this year? I don't really like the quarterbacks in this draft. I would rather just go get a game manager for a year and then try again next year. Next year's going to be a punt. I mean, odds are, even if you keep Wilson, next year's going to be bad. It may as well be bad on your terms. Like, okay, let's say you keep Wilson, all right? Let's say you keep Wilson. Who's going to be his left tackle? It's not going to be Dwayne Brown because he needs to retire. Who's going to be the left tackle? Oh my God! Why is everyone jumping off sides in this game? Yes, Jake, I will be playing Persona after the Sunday night game. Best head coach candidates. I like Kellen Moore. Okay, so my plan. So the plan is to have Wilson's blind side be protected by a second year, sixth round player with no NFL experience. How is that not going to end in disaster? Think about it. I don't play Apex, no. Like, the only guy who I really like as being the left tackle next year is Teron Armstead, and he's going to cost $100 million. The only two guys who I think would be okay would be Taylor Decker and George Fant. I think both those guys could be available. Yeah, Kellen Moore sucked today, but overall, I think he's been very good. Bobby's going to be gone if we rebuild for sure. No problem, J Matt. I appreciate the support. Thank you. I mean, I'm probably going to do that eventually. I just don't know if I'll do it on stream. Well, Pack, if that's true, then maybe the. Well, look at what Kyler Murray's doing, man. Kyler Murray is shorter than Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray is shorter than Russell Wilson, and he's finding a way to make it work in a spread offense. Think about that. Think about that. Explain that to me. I don't think Waldron's ready to be a head coach, Mason. I mean, maybe Kyler is just better at taking shorter stuff than Wilson is. Like, I see all these people who are trying so desperately to not acknowledge that it could be Wilson. They want to blame everyone else but Wilson. Why is it so hard to believe that it could be Wilson? Wilson already got the last offensive coordinator fired because the offense completely went to shit in the second half of the season. Now you're going to get a whole new coach, and then when things don't go well, you're going to blame the coach? You don't think it's time to start blaming the players? Silver Ace, there's not going to be enough money for that. No, Will Jensen, not Gino. Get somebody like a Daniel Jones, maybe. Get somebody like Jalen Hurts. Somebody with a chance of being decent. I'm eating these Frutella gummies. I kind of like the green screen screwing with me, but I like these. Doesn't really matter who you get next year. Next year's going to suck anyway. If next year's a punt, why not Gino? Because Gino has no upside. You know exactly what he is. Go get somebody with a little bit of upside. And I don't. I think you can do a little better than Gino. Because you do want to be able to develop players like Eskridge and Metcalf. And you're not going to be able to do that if you have a terrible QB. You want to have somebody with a little bit of competence. Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. That'd be fine too. I try, Andrew. Well, that's not true. I'm pretty sure Brendon answers every question in order, meaning he takes 3 hours to get to your question after you ask it, which is the problem. But he's trying. He will get to your question eventually, Andrew. He just takes 3 hours because of the way he does things. What are us chances of us getting Kellen Moore? I can't imagine they're that high. Aaron Rodgers might be available. Oh boy, that would be kind of weird, but I don't think he would want to come here because we'd be rebuilding. Why don't they work on rebuilding the O line first? Well, they probably will, Calvin, but it takes a while to rebuild an offensive line. It's not just something you can do like that. You need to give it time. Unless you're going to import an offensive line in free agency, and even then, they need to learn how to play with each other. Like, playing on the offensive line is not about just being better than the person right in front of you, okay? It's about understanding where your teammates are going to be and where you need to be. Aaron, that's very possible. Why would Tom Brady come here if we're so thin on assets? Like he's going to want to come here to play behind Stone Forsythe and Jake Curhan? Well, pretentious Cameron, maybe that speaks to Carroll's inability to be a good coach, if that's true. Because remember Greg Popovich, after the Spurs lost the finals to the Heat, he got that team mentally prepared for the next season immediately, and they won the finals. They didn't let that terrible finals loss completely derail their franchise. You don't need every player on the O-line to be a blue chipper. Okay, but that mentality kind of got us here. That mentality got us to where we are right now with the offensive line, where we're like, well, we have Dwayne Brown. We don't need to worry about anything else that much. Everything else can just be whatever. No, we tried that way. It didn't work. I even kind of understood why we did it that way, but it didn't work. Our talent on the line isn't horrible. Yeah, I mean, we do have some good players there, but the bad players that we have are killing us. Yeah, don't let the score fool you guys. I'm serious. Do not let that scoreboard fool you. That scoreboard will lie to you. Hmm. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor balled out. Yeah, that was a terrible challenge, by the way. Just call timeout if you want a timeout. Like, why did we challenge that? That was weird. It's not ever feasible for every player to be a top 10 pick. Yeah, but every player has to be good. Yeah, I know, David. Colt McCoy played good. I don't know about Brooks, okay? I think there's some bad coaching going on with Brooks. I'm not a fan. I don't like Brooks, but I think this is bad coaching. Like, you guys saw the play at the end, near the end, where he was playing outside corner? Like, why are we asking Jordan Brooks to play outside corner? Think about that. I don't think that's his fault. I'm up and down with Brooks from week to week. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't, but there's some bad coaching going on here. I'm not gonna judge him until I see him under better coaching. They asked Bobby to cover. I know, but middle linebackers don't cover as much as weak side linebackers typically do. Did the Bengals win today? They won? Okay. Hey, Noctavagant YT, welcome to the stream. Do you think Dallas are pretenders? I kind of do. I kind of do. It seems like there's a little bit of a blueprint there. I still like Kellen Moore. I'm going to stand by that. We can still make the playoffs if we win out. Okay, but we're not going to win out, so it doesn't matter. Why? And here's my thing, guys. It could happen, but why talk about it? Why even talk about it until it happens? Like, do you have any idea how ridiculous you sound to fans of other teams when you talk about making the playoffs right now as a Seahawks fan? Like, you sound like a complete clown. Yeah, I don't feel like. Yeah, I did Noctavagon. I want to thank you for that, by the way. I appreciate the support, man. Yeah, I mean, Pete said in his post-game press conference that the things that they're getting wrong and the things that they're not doing are the things they've been getting wrong all season. If that's true, then what does that say about his ability to coach? It says that he can't do it. It says they're not listening to him. It says he's not pushing the right buttons. Uh, Matthew Phillips, that is factually not true. We made a Super Bowl and had a run of NFC West dominance before Wilson was even playing college football, I think. Yeah, we are bad against the screen. I mean, honestly, at a certain point, isn't it on the coaches to teach players how to defend a screen successfully? Like, everybody, I keep getting comments like, we should have kept KJ Wright, we should have kept KJ Wright, we should have kept KJ Wright. What are we going to do? Keep KJ Wright until he's 60 years old because he's the only guy we have who can defend screens? You got to find somebody else who can do that kind of stuff eventually. Thank you, Nocta Vagant. Maybe it happens one day. I don't know. Hey, at least the Lions are going to get a top pick this year. At least the Lions are going to have a chance to rebuild. We're going to have to delay this rebuild because of this stupid ass Jamal trade. Why would anybody go to a Seahawks game right now? Like, it'd be one thing if the team was still playing really hard. I would get it. But the team had such a pathetic effort today with the season on the line. I don't know why anybody would think that the team is deserving of your time and money to go to a game. Like, I don't understand any Seahawks fan going to games right now. I mean, if you do go, at the very least, please spend the spend those 3 hours trying to chant "Fire Pete Carroll." The Jamal trade made sense at the time. I mean, yeah, it did, but you got to uphold your end of the bargain. Nocta Vagant, basically, you trade Wilson for as much as you can, and then you probably want to get Evan Neal in the draft and maybe Aiden Hutchinson. Yes, the PI call against Trey Brown was not good. I mean, we might beat Washington next week, but it doesn't matter. Please don't think that winning games right now matters. Like, that's what happened to the Falcons. Do you guys remember 2019? 2019, the Falcons were terrible, and then they won meaningless games at the end of the season, so they were like, oh, let's run it back. I think Dan Quinn's figuring this stuff out, and no, he didn't. Realistic replacement for Coach Carroll and Schneider? I like Kellen Moore. I like Joe Brady. I like Kyle Shanahan if he gets fired, but that's probably not happening right now. Schneider, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know about Alton anymore, Kyle. With what we're seeing from him right now, I don't know how we can honestly say that he's definitely part of this future. Well, Wandering Spirit, they don't have Chase Young or Montez Sweat. Those are maybe their two best players on D. Who has the authority to fire Pete? Chuck Arnold. I don't like Jim Harbaugh, no. No, I think they're going to let Pete finish the season out unless they start getting blown out by 40 plus points. Thank you, Nocta Vagant. Appreciate it. Kenny Pickett's okay. We might be able to get him. I would rather just punt next season and get the quarterback the next year. Yes, Andrew, he is not tanking to get traded. That's silly. People don't do that. This is not Friday Night Lights. This is the real world. Oh, Matt Eberflus? He's all right, but I don't know if I want a defensive guy. I don't know. Sam, you got to watch some of my older videos where I go over some of the coaching candidates. I've gone over all this stuff. You got to watch that stuff. I have like 20 names, I think. Thoughts on Russ missing players open for quick passes? I'm starting to feel like he doesn't get it. Yeah, Nathan, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you spend any money on this damn team? Thank you, Jerome. Jim Harbaugh doesn't know how to build a team. He took over Singletary's team. He knows how to take over a team that already has some talent. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get water. Ugh. What did I miss? Did somebody block a punt? Herman the Great, thank you for the 4.99. What was your reaction to the Boo Birds? Personally, I loved it because this offense doesn't deserve to be cheered at all. Yeah, I love it. As far as I'm concerned, if you are going to go to Seahawks games right now, then that's what you should be doing. That's the only way we as fans can affect whether or not this team changes. That's the only power that we have right now, other than just not going to games. Yeah, I like Tyler Linderbaum, Kyle. I don't know if I'd use a top pick on him, but I like him. I mean, the Jamal Adams trade would have been fine if we had been good these last 2 years. I mean, last year was fine, whatever. 12 wins. I can deal with it. Dude, this camera angle is triggering the hell out of me. It looks way too much like Super Bowl 49. I don't like it. It needs to, like, go over a little bit so it's actually in line with the line of scrimmage. I don't like this. This is triggering the hell out of me right now. Thoughts on how the defense played today? Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, if you're going to go to games, honestly, right now, I think if you go to Seahawks games after that performance against Arizona, then you're a sucker. But if you do go to games, you should definitely try to get some Fire Pete Carroll chants going. I don't know, Kyle. I kind of like Neil, the Alabama dude, more. Wow, Steelers can't get in the end zone. By the way, guys, we need like 6 or 7 more members for an emoji. So if you've been thinking about becoming a member, You haven't done it yet, just click the join button down below. It's pretty easy. $2 or $5 a month. Definitely trying to get there before the end of November. By the way, I have most of this week off from work, so you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of me. Who would you like our new GM to be? I don't have a candidate for that. I don't study GM candidates. You went to the Seahawks Colts game? I mean, that game was in Indy. And don't get me wrong, I would have no problem going to games if the um I wouldn't have a problem going to games if the team was losing, but at least giving effort and fighting really hard. This team is not doing that. This team just played a game with their season on the line. You got to put everything on the line in this game. You got to put everything on the line. And we didn't. We folded up. That was a pathetic effort with the season on the line. That's the part that I can't abide by. That's the part that makes me go, this team doesn't deserve fans in the stadium. No, I don't go to physical work. I'm a software developer. Okay, see? This camera angle looks exactly like Super Bowl 49. It's pissing me off. Get this off my screen. You are triggering me right now. Touchdown Steelers. Eskridge played like 2 snaps that I saw. Honestly, if he can't play more than 2 snaps, then why is he even active? I think it was like 2 snaps. It might have been a few more. Yeah, why do we have people in the chat even saying the word playoffs, man? Why are you people even... Do you guys realize how insane you sound for even talking about this team making the playoffs? Like, if we win the next 4 games in a row, then come here and talk about playoffs, okay? Then it's at least reasonable. Right now, it makes you sound ridiculous. It makes you sound like a crazy person. I mean, it didn't even have to be... It didn't even have to be Creed Humphrey. It could have been David Andrews. Could have been Matt Skura. Could have been Nick Martin. There were so many centers you could have gotten. And by the way, I don't even know if Posick played badly today. I'm going to have to actually investigate on that a little bit. Okay, Jalen, but you have to forget that kind of stuff. You can love Russ all you want to, but you have to decide if you're going to be a Seahawks fan or a Russell Wilson fan. What did you think of DJ Dallas? He was fine. Okay, you're going to put in Stone Forsythe. Wilson's going to break his leg because somebody sacks him, and then you're going to get nothing in a trade for him. I don't know if I like that idea either. I think Jamal played great until the pass interference penalty, which I do think was the right call and was very, very stupid on the part of Jamal. But I think he played great before that. What's the first position we hit in the draft? Well, hopefully you can do BPA, but it also depends on whether or not you trade Wilson or not. Okay, how many Super Bowls did the Chargers win, Sam? How many Super Bowls did the Chargers play in with Rivers? Any? 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 Bueller? Bueller? Okay, so why are we using them as the example? Why are we using them as a positive example of like, oh, we should stick with our franchise QB when things are bad for years because it will result in what? It wasn't a bad camera angle, Kyle. It just looked weird. Noctivagant, welcome to the membership club, buddy. Welcome to Elite membership. Unfortunately, we keep losing members whenever we gain one, so it's taking forever to get to the emoji, but hopefully we get to it soon. But welcome to the club, Noctivagant. Appreciate the support. Yeah, maybe if we had drafted better in recent years, maybe if we had done better in free agency in recent years, it didn't have to go like this, but we're here now, and it's going to take a while to rebuild this team almost certainly. So why hang on to Wilson so we can cling on to 8-win seasons? And that's at best. Thank you, Noctivagant. Appreciate the support. Bring back Trey Flowers. Honestly, I kind of wish we had him right now with Trey Brown out. But it's not about any of that. People keep talking about what Wilson did last year or the year before or the year before that. The only thing that matters with keeping Wilson or not is he going to be able to find a way to play effectively in a new system? Brandon Darden, welcome to the channel. And I think we are heading towards a place where the answer to that is clearly no. Sidney Jones played okay today. I'm not mad at him. Yeah, don't misunderstand, by the way. Trey Flowers got cut because he said mean things about Carroll, not because he was playing bad. Ooh. Herbert. Like Herbert tonight, watching this game, Herbert looks much better than Russell Wilson. And there's no way Herbert's more talented than Russell Wilson. But he's just playing the game smarter. No, Matt, Trey on about the he was asked about why things were going bad and he said, well, he basically said I think the scheme is bad. Basically saying it's Carroll's fault, so Carroll got him out of here. And Flowers, by the way, had a point because we kind of changed things a little bit after that game and things got a little better. So, as far as I'm concerned, he was correct. Mac Jones looks better than Wilson right now, and Mac Jones is not anywhere near as talented. Not even close. But he's playing the game smarter. So let's get a quarterback who is not as good as Wilson, but is making a lot less money and is capable of playing the game smarter. I'm really starting to think that Wilson cannot play the game smart enough. And if he is capable, he needs to start showing it immediately. He needs to start showing that he can play smarter football immediately. That means no more Hail Marys to DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett in double coverage for no reason on first down. Well, Wilson's not going to take a pay cut. Do you have any idea how hard he worked to get that contract? How hard he pushed to get every dollar he could? You think he's just going to give that money back because he suddenly feels like it? If he was willing to not take that money, then why did he get it in the first place? No, Empower, I'm not sad about it. I mean, it's scary, but it is what it is. Do you still think Russ is a top 5 QB? Not right now. Wilson is not going to take a pay cut, and honestly, he shouldn't. Now, maybe if you decide to bring him back and go for broke next year, he would restructure, but that's completely different. Maybe Willie Dang. I don't know about Justin Fields. I'm not crazy about him, but he's got potential. I would take a flyer on him for a year or two. What the hell would Richard Sherman do to make this season any better, Brandon? What the hell would Richard Sherman do? If you're gonna bring up a name, at least bring up the name of somebody who's actually like good. How are we gonna get Zach Cantwell? The Bengals aren't gonna fire him. Yeah, people who beat on that drum like Russell Wilson needs to take a pay cut, I can't stand those people. Whenever I hear somebody say like their grand idea for fixing the Seahawks is Wilson needs to take a pay cut, I want to drop kick them in the throat. That is stupid. It's not the problem, and it's not reasonable to expect him to do it. Yeah, Dunlap's probably gone. He's got nothing left. The offensive line last year was not that bad, Jake. I don't know if I agree with that. Wilson makes offensive lines look worse than they are. He does. Sorry. We have a lot of evidence that indicates this. um, do you think we need better pass rushers? Oh, of course. Oh, fumble! He got it back. Yeah, Kronos, exactly. We had $50 million a couple off seasons ago, and then we spent it all on Jerron Reed and Greg Olson and Brandon Shell and no, okay. If Wilson takes a pay cut, we would probably just go spend that money on another Quentin Dunbar or something. Just stop. Say something to uplift us. Uh, I don't know. Um, that LJ Collier dude did a good job bringing Gatorade to fellow teammates on the sideline today. I can go either way on Al Woods. Al Woods is good, but he's also old. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know how much Russ is worth. It only matters what he's worth to the team he ends up getting traded to. Yeah, Monet had a good game. Okay, that's a positive thing, actually. Monet played good. Monet looked good today. I'll give him his props, but I was thinking about posting a TikTok in the chat to try to uplift people, but it's too polarizing. It would probably piss some people off. Okay, Corey Wilson. Tom Brady is unique, okay? Tom Brady is in a unique situation that other players are not. That's not a fair comparison. Tom Brady has a wife who makes more money than he'll ever be able to make. He's able to do things like that and it doesn't affect him. Other players cannot do that, so they get all the money that they can. Michael Colucci, thank you for the $4.99. Wilson is playing like someone with a gambling addiction. He can't resist the high risk, high reward plays. Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand why he doesn't get it yet. And the fact that he hasn't gotten it yet makes me feel like he's never going to get it. And honestly, at this point this season, if he does start to get it now, it's kind of too late because we're already out of the playoffs. Okay, holding other players to the Tom Brady standard is stupid, okay? And no, Ciara is not comparable. Ciara's net worth is like I looked this up recently. Ciara's net worth is like what Wilson makes in half a season. Okay? Giselle's net worth is much larger than Brady's net worth could ever be from playing football. I don't even think it's close actually. I think while she was working, she was making like 100 million a year. I looked this up one time. There's no comp there. I don't know anything about Brady Fritz. I don't watch a lot of college football. Taylor definitely played. Honestly, Steven, I thought our defense was going to be good this year because I thought we had a really deep defensive line, but everybody on that defensive line just decided to suck. I don't think there are great pass rushers you can get next offseason, Willie Dang. I think you're going to have to draft them and hope they pan out, like Hutchinson. Yeah, that's another great point, actually, from Dirk. We have we have cap space that we are not spending right now. If Wilson takes a pay cut or a restructure or whatever, we would have more cap space that we also wouldn't spend. What's the damn difference? Yeah, Andrew, technically that statement is true. It's just doesn't matter. Oh. Is that Najee Harris? Dang. He just got like Bruce Lee forearm shivered. Sam, I don't understand that question. I don't know what you're trying to get at there. I don't know too much about Jay Binkley. Yeah, Big Ben's playing better than Russ because he's playing the game smarter. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly and throwing short passes. Like, oh my God. Whoever that Charger safety is needs to get fired. Oh. Sam, I don't really care about that stuff that much. I just want somebody who's good. Like that's the thing. Like I try to analyze this game the best I can, but at the end of the day, as a Seahawks fan, I just want something that wins games and is good. Like the Seahawks offense that we won the Super Bowl with was nothing like the offenses that I would like to build if I were in control, but I don't care because they won. If we bring in a blitz heavy defense like a Brian Flores type defense, and it becomes super blitz heavy, that's not my kind of defense. But if it works, I'm not going to care. Like, I don't feel some intrinsic need for the defense to, or the team to succeed in the way that I want them to succeed. I just want them to succeed. I don't need them to go a certain way with it. I just need them to win. EOTech, get the hell out of here. What does it mean to get rid of Carroll but not Russ? You would have to bring in somebody like a Lincoln Riley who can quickly fix him. That's the only way. You need to find a coach like that, like a Kyle Shanahan, who can just like immediately just get him going in the right direction. It's not impossible. But I think it's really unlikely. And you could do all the work and then get there at the end and everything's going and you built everything up and then you find out, oh, Wilson's not that dude. Touchdown Steelers, game's not over yet. Um, I don't think there's a big point in hiring Lincoln Riley and then completely rebuilding. If you're going to bring in Lincoln Riley, I would rather just keep Russell because that's the kind of quarterback that I think Lincoln Riley might be pretty happy with. No, Dirk, I don't, but I'm trying to talk through the scenario. Do you think that teams are still willing to trade for Russ, 3 first rounders for Russ? Maybe not, but whatever we get, we get. Like it's not impossible to rebuild the team in one off season, but it's going to be so hard. You have to get everything perfect, and then you can't have any injuries next year. Like if you have no injuries next year, then okay. It's a lot to ask, and I don't think it's reasonable. I think trying to keep Wilson right now is a pipe dream. No, we have our second round pick, Steven. We have our second round pick. Would you hire a head coach or an assistant? What do you mean, Andrew? I mean, you need to have a head coach, right? Cory, I don't think there's any real reason to believe that Jody Allen doesn't care about football. And even if she doesn't, she cares about money, and she'll be getting less money if this team won't it isn't winning. Jerome, it's both. That's the thing. You can't put all this stuff on the finger. His finger did not make him audible to a play where he flings it 50 yards down the field to Metcalf in double coverage. On first down, I think, by the way. I mean, Michael Colucci. I guess that's true. What Wilson said there is technically true, but it's also completely useless. Most games are close. No, Steven, we have our third. I think I'm pretty sure we have all of our picks this year except for the first rounder. The third rounder was last year. No, Silver Ace. Carroll wouldn't do that. Carroll's a future Hall of Fame head coach who's been doing this for 4 decades. He's not going to take a demotion down to a fourth string, a defensive coordinator. Like people don't do that. Larry Bird, welcome back to basic membership. Welcome back, Larry. I remember you used to be a member. You were a member for a while. Welcome back, buddy. Okay, yeah, we don't have the 6th. There we go. Thank you, David. But welcome back to the club, Larry Bird. Still a lot of time left, actually. Wow, Pittsburgh's not toast. Yeah. No, DMK. What's Kaepernick going to do? He hasn't played football in like 6 years. And he would never throw the ball to Will Dissly because throwing the ball to Will Dissly is a form of white supremacy. Oh, okay, Noctavagant. I see. I got you. To replace Pete, would you hire a head or assistant coach? Head. I feel like... Why do you think that, Seahawks analyst? Why do you think that? KJ can barely get on the field for the Raiders. He's a part-time player in Las Vegas. What do you mean? What, Joseph V? What are you talking about? No, Mitchell Schwartz probably should retire. At this point, you could start Stone over Dwayne Brown, but I don't think it matters. He can stop the screens. Can he? Can he? Can he do that anymore? He's a year older. He's not really getting on the field for Vegas, so I don't know if that's true. Wait, did Herbert throw a pick? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Wow, that was a play. That should be a flag on... That was helmet to helmet on the Charger dude, though. All right, looks like we might have a tied game in a second here. All right. Maybe we'll get overtime. If we get overtime, then I'm going to stream longer. That should be a flag. That was right in front of the referee, too. What the hell? Yeah, he leads with his helmet to make the tackle. Willie Dang, I'll be getting into that a lot in my future videos, but 3 spots on the offensive line need to get filled. Probably need some new edges. Might need a new defensive tackle. Might need a corner if we lose DJ Reed. Free safety. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. No, Larry. Jimmy Lake's got to go to, like, I don't know, Tennessee, Chattanooga for a little bit. Chip Kelly, the coach, was all right. Chip Kelly, the GM, was awful. Yeah, Jimmy Lake needs to go spend a year or two in, like, I don't know, Troy University to rebuild his rep, I think. Any DJ Reed replacements? Not off the top of my head, but there are definitely guys out there. Roughing the passer, wow. David, why did you say it, man? David, why did you do that? Literally 10 seconds after I read your message. Oh my god, that is weak. David, why'd you do it to Joey? Why'd you do it to Joey? Okay. 1st and goal. This camera angle is still pissing me off, by the way. Seahawks analyst, I've been over this a million times. Oh, I thought that was intercepted. Dang. We are Moose. TD. Well, yeah, it's the Charger Stadium. The Chargers don't have fans, especially not right now after they moved out of San Diego. Why don't you want a coach that gets you almost 10 wins every year? Because almost 10 wins every year is not that good of a thing. In fact, it's pretty meaningless if you don't have those great seasons every now and then. Why is this is not an accomplishment when you have a franchise quarterback? 10 wins is not an accomplishment. It should be like the floor. How do you feel about Gabe Jackson? He seems fine. Overall, I think he plays pretty well. It was a worthy trade we made for him, but he's not great. He's not amazing. One thing I noticed about some Seahawks fans, and this goes for sports fans in general, they're a little too obsessed with squeezing all the blood out of something before they let it go. Right? Like, it's okay to let something go when it still has a little bit left. All right? Couple years ago, the Patriots got rid of Tom Brady. Tom Brady still had something left. But they were okay with that. They wanted to build something new around a younger, cheaper quarterback. Somebody with more upside. It's okay to let things go when they have a little bit of blood left in them. Now, I don't want to let somebody go when they have a ton of blood left in them, which is why I don't really want to lose Metcalf, but we've gotten a lot of good stuff out of guys like Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. If they have a little bit left that's good to give, then okay, let them go do it somewhere else because it's not resulting in anything that great here right now. We don't even have any deep playoff runs the last 8 years. Our running backs aren't that hard to deal with, Silver Ace. Chargers are choking, man. That was like a free first down for Jared Cook, and he dropped it like twice. Yeah, 12-4 is not that good when you go one and done in the playoffs. Doesn't really mean much of anything to me as far as I'm concerned. Wow, sack. Are the Chargers really going to blow this game? 'We should put a banner in the stadium that says we went 12-4 in 2020, right next to the Super Bowl banner. 'Steelers have 24 points in the fourth quarter. Jesus Christ. 3rd and 14. Ooh, a check down Charlie. He might get it. Ooh, I don't know. This is interesting. No, he didn't get it. Just QB sneak it. Herbert's a big dude. Just QB sneak it for half a yard. What's wrong with our DBs other than the fact that they're hurt? Our secondary was the strength of the team until Trey and DJ got put out. Ooh, yeah. QB sneak this, homie. QB sneak this. QB sneak. QB sneak. No, don't run it. No, they didn't get it. No, you gotta QB sneak that. I love going for it, but you gotta QB sneak that hoe. You gotta QB sneak that mother. Quick snap QB sneak never fails. Back in the old days in Madden, I would run QB sneak every play in like Madden 98. Old days of Madden because every QB sneak was like 5 yards. Just pound it up the middle. You would just push the pile 5 yards. Okay, Seahawks analyst, I think you're just here to troll. So if I have a mod in the chat right now, can somebody ban Seahawks analyst? I'm not in the mood. Oblivion, they're just, I don't know, it kind of feels like they're just desperately trying random stuff and trying to get something to work. I don't really know how to defend it. I don't think it's very defensible. Pretty sure it was a troll account. Willie, it depends on what the next coach wants. Yeah, and oh my God, Andrew, he needs to stop that. He needs to stop talking about how good our practices are. You know who used to do that? You know who used to do that? Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan was always like, "Oh, we had a great week of practice this week. Yeah, we had the best week of practice ever." And then they would go get plastered. Good coaches don't brag about how good their practices are. Yeah, he needs to stop talking about how good the X, Y, and Z was in practice. Just stop. If they were good, prove it on the field. Stop talking about it. I don't like it. Little bit, Silver. I drafted Derrick Henry in my main league, though, so I'm kind of screwed. But whatever. I do not look like Kyle Rittenhouse, truth be told. That's not even close. Incomplete. Oh, flag. God, how many flags have there been in this game? I feel like I've seen 800 flags tonight. This game's been a mess. I wish I looked like Kyle Rittenhouse. Then I would look like somebody who's like 15 years younger than I am. Oh, no flag. No flag. Wow, they picked it up. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I feel like I've seen a ton of yellow in this game. Ugh. Okay. Ton of time left. I watched Hawk Blogger's post game stream for like 30 seconds, and he's so over emotional about this stuff. Like he gets crazy. Like I get a little bit animated sometimes, but that dude just that dude's insane. Those guys over there get a little insane, even for me, man. You have confidence in the front office to hire the right coach GM? Well, all you really need to do as Jody Allen is find a football guy, hire them, and then get the hell out of the way. That's all there is to it. Allen, don't do that. We did not play well in that game. No way, no how. We're not going to get Josh Allen knocked to Vaughan. That's impossible. That like the Bills would probably not take 3 first round picks for him. See, look at that. Herbert takes the check down. Herbert took the check down, and it worked, and the drive stays alive. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. What the hell kind of coverage was that? And by the way, what is Mike Williams doing holding the ball in one hand like that? If it slips out of his hands, that's Steeler ball, pretty much game over if he fumbles it out the back of the end zone. What the hell was that? Oh, damn it, Kyle. Okay, Hazik, if you're still watching this, Kyle accidentally timed you out. Just wait like 5 minutes and you'll be back in. It's not, don't worry about it. He butt banned you, I guess. I don't think I can reverse it. Let me try. Maybe I can untime out him. Hold on 1 second. No, I cannot untime him out. Hey, DM. But anyway, so the thing is, the Vikings winning today plus us losing should really get people to stop talking about the playoffs. DMK, what are you talking about, dude? Thank you, Noctivagant. See you later. Herman, you gotta lead with an exclamation point. You gotta do exclamation point fire, Pete, or it won't work. Okay. Down by 4 with 2 minutes to go. Yeah, them beating the Saints was kind of good for us, though. But the Eagles are going to be involved here, by the way. They're going to play the Jets and Giants. They're probably going to be 6-6 soon. The Eagles might make the playoffs if the Niners falter. I think the 7th seed is going to go to the Niners or the Eagles as of right now. Yeah, Cory, honestly, Carson probably needs to retire too for the same reason. Carson probably does need to retire for well, not a different reason, but a slightly similar reason. Let's call it that. Oh, here, huge? Okay. Oh, here, huge. Kyle, it's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. Shit happens. You know, usually my post-game streams don't go for over 2 hours. This second half of this game is kind of taking forever. Not the worst thing in the world, but yeah. Ryan Cobb, it's not just the O-line. There are other... By the way, rebuilding an offensive line takes a while. It takes quite some time. Okay? You can't just snap your fingers and rebuild the offensive line. By the time we rebuild the offensive line, Wilson might already be dead. Think about it. You're mad. I'm back. He's mad. Oh my god, another sack. He's mad. She's mad. Why does that song go so hard? The new 69 song? Why does that go hard? I don't know if Stone's going to be good enough, Kyle. Stone's not going to be a sure thing. We might need somebody better than Stone. It's possible. 3rd and 29. Oh, he actually kind of had a dude open. I completely agree, Wiggy. Yeah, I'm watching the game, Ryan. Fourth and 29 for the Steelers. Make it 4th and 30 billion. Damian Lewis definitely played today. I definitely would have noticed if he wasn't in there. Hey, not the same old Chargers. Chargers are not going to charger. Oh my god, what is the point of that pass? What is the point of that play? Just Just throw a Hail Mary, bro. What will happen to us if Pete doesn't retire or get fired? Well, I don't think anything good. No, of course not, Kyle. But that's not his forte in terms of talent and ability. All right, so the stream's going to end in a couple minutes here because San Diego or LA is just going to need the clock out. So, any last comments you want to get in? Any last super chats? Any of that stuff? Now would be the time. I'm only going to stream for a few more minutes. On a day like today, you know I can use all the support I can get. Emmett, give me a little bit of time to take care of some stuff around here, and I'll hop on Persona. Probably not till after 9, but hopefully not too long after that. I don't know, Austin. Well, yeah, Cave is on. You know, I kind of have a problem with people who say that. Yeah, I don't think very many. Like, if you are a Seahawks fan, then of course you're going to continue to be a fan, even if the team is terrible. Like, I don't know. Are you like bragging about? I don't like it when people start bragging about how, oh, we're still gonna be a fan even though we're bad. Like being bad is good because you get to prove how hardcore you are. Like, no, rooting for a bad team sucks. Of course, I'm gonna keep doing it. Of course, we're still gonna be fans. Numb Seahawks fan, thank you for the $1. Herman the Great, thank you for the $4.99. Love what you do, brother. Keep it up. I know it's frustrating, but that's sadly what we're going through as fans right now. Yeah, it is what it is. I can't see all three of Shanahan, Kingsbury, and McVay coach at the high level with average or worse QBs and think the same is impossible with Russ. Well, right now, from where I sit, the evidence is pretty... The evidence is compelling. Cave is on. Thank you for the $1.99. No matter what happens, go Hawks. Peace out. Thank you. Thank you, Charisma. But yeah, I don't know. Some people, I swear to God, it's almost they say like, well, it's good that we're being bad right now because we get to prove who the real fans are. But like, no, this sucks. Well, Ryan, we'll be good again one day. We will. I don't know when, but right now we're not. That's really all I can say about it. Yeah, Dacian, but it still sucks. Like, the Patriots had a bad season last year, but they had it, it was on their terms. Do you understand what I'm saying there? Do you get it? Like, they kind of planned to have a bad season, and now they're good again. This was not the plan. That's the part that is bad. You know what I mean? All right. I think that's going to do it for me tonight for this stream. I don't know how many of you guys would care for such a thing, but a little later I am going to jump on Persona and stream that for a couple of hours at least. I might do some Dead by Daylight really late tonight, but I'm not sure. But well, either way, come on out to check that out if that's something that interests you. And I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks.